Today's topic, 5 things to do to get your financial house in order to start the year. Yeah, Happy New Year to you. Happy 2025. Or if you're catching this in following years, maybe it's 26, 27, who knows, right? YouTube is endless. But today I'm going to walk through 5 topics that should not catch you by surprise. But if you want some easy wins to get that momentum flowing to start the year, we're going to cover them. And we got some good ones. We're going to hit one that you're probably sick of hearing about. I'm not going to ruin it yet, but we're going to get to it first. We're going to talk about some other easy wins. We're going to talk about some tax stuff. We're going to talk about some insurance stuff. We're talking about some estate stuff. That's right. 5 easy wins. Hopefully you got most of these taken care of. Maybe you got to add 1 or 2. But regardless, now is the time. Conquer the year. Get the momentum going. Let's get into it. Okay, as always, quick little favor to ask of you. I didn't know if I was going to ask how I was going to word that. But the favor is, if you have not subscribed to the channel, now would be a great time to do it. Start the year off. You know you got a ton of financial literacy coming to you. So subscribe to the channel. Click on the thumbs up icon. Allow us to spread our message. Most importantly, thank you for tuning into this video. That's it. That's the pitch. First up, the word that you're all sick about hearing, budgeting. But you hear it so many times that you have to know that it's important. And you're at the start of the year. It's a fresh start. What can you do to start the year? Well, if you were going to track something and you are like me and you like things very organized, the start of the year is a great time to do it. I don't like the term New Year's resolution, so we're not going to bring that into the 2025 start, but budgeting. You need to track money in, money out. And sometimes we call it cash flow because we know that people actually truly do hate the word budgeting and it gives them a cold sweat. So think about this, cash flow tracking, money in, money out. I don't care how you do it, but you should do it. I also don't care how often you do it. I do think certain frequencies will make it easier for you, but get in the habit of saying, this is the money I've coming in. This is the money coming in from my paycheck. These are my large expenses. These are my discretionary expenses. These are my big ticket items that I'm saving up for. You need to have some form of a game plan. Everything in personal finance is all driven by cash flow. Everything in business planning is all driven by cash flow. You can use technology to make this easier. I know I've noted a few of these. We love Monarch. Monarch is a really good budgeting software. Tiller is a really good budgeting software. Some people like YNAB. You need a budget. Great budgeting software. You can go old school on them, right? You can go in and just build your own Excel spreadsheet. You can go pen and paper. Most of the credit card providers, most of the bank accounts today will give you some form of tracking, depending on where you are and how much you want to nerd out. If you do own a business or maybe you have a few different streams of income, you're trying to track income and expenses. Softwares like QuickBooks, which are going to be a little bit more expensive because it brings in a lot more features. You can also pick kind of layer, but you have to budget. And in terms of frequency, this is one where I don't think we have it all figured out, meaning that my family or even the business side of things, I am a monthly budgeter. I like to go in once per month. I check the personal spending. I check the business spending, money in, money out, kind of look through our P&Ls. Some will do it more than that, right? Some will do it more frequently. Some will do it less frequently. Maybe it's quarterly, maybe it's semi-annual, maybe it's annual. My concern with the further you spread it out is always, it's a lot of things to review, right? Think about all those times you bought something from Amazon or Target or all the Starbucks runs. In a month period, all right, you can click through, tag that, tag this, tag this, tag that. But over 3 months, 6 months, a year, you're talking about some serious transactions there that you're going to have to go through, even in like your most basic forms of spending just to keep up with life these days, right? So just keep that in mind when you walk through it. But as you're watching this and you're thinking, what can I do to become financially smarter and stronger and better in the year 2025 or any year after that? Budgeting. But throw out the word budgeting, cash flow, money in, money out. Think of it as a fun exercise like that, right? Here's my money coming in. Here's my money going out. I need it to enter to this sum of 0, assuming that you've already built in saving, right? Because if you didn't build in saving and you already hit 0, we might be in some trouble down the line. But number 1 on the list, I'm not even going to say the B word. I'm just going to call it cash flow track. All right, next win to start the year, increase your savings. And I'm going to give it actually a few different ways to look at it. I would love for you to increase your long-term savings. What's long-term savings? I mean, that's retirement savings. So go in and increase your 401k or increase your 403b. If you're already maxing that one out, fantastic. Maybe this is the year that you start to do your backdoor Roth IRA. Again, speaking to my high income earners here, we got to do that backdoor Roth IRA. If you're below those income thresholds, starting a Roth IRA. These are wins. If you're already maxing out both of these, great job. Maybe look to get a taxable account going or a joint account with your spouse, right? Significant other. These are very easy ways to increase your savings. And I'm not saying you have to go crank it up, right? But doing small little increases year after year. I always say, like, if you're going to get a bonus, right? Or you're going to get a pay increase, you get a 5% pay increase your 401k by 2 or 3%. And you're not even going to notice it. You still get a little extra take home pay, but you're not even going to notice it. Those are little things that you can adjust every year to be in a better spot. Now, it doesn't always have to be long-term. I would like both of these to occur, but if you have to pick one or the other, I think it depends on where you are. But even increasing your short-term savings, right? This is where I think the emergency fund comes in. Emergency fund is a good example. Or if you say, hey, we're planning a big trip at the start of 2026, right? Start to build up that bucket. So even short-term savings goals, increase them a little bit. Set aside an extra 50 or $100 or $1,000, whatever number fits your plan, right? Increase that savings. Another easy victory to start the year, and it compounds. It compounds over that entire year, and then do it again next year, and then the next year, and the next year. And you're just creating good habits, good compounding growth. Good thing to do at the start of every year if you can. Increase that savings number. All right, number 3 on my list is a little bit nerdier, but adjusting your W-4. What is a W-4, Chad? Well, a W-4 is the thing that controls how much tax is being withheld from your paycheck. Who needs to adjust their W-4? Well, let me tell you who needs to adjust their W-4. 2 people come to mind. If you are getting a large tax bill every year, you likely have a problem with your W-4. And if you're watching this as a high income earner and you're saying, Chad, I'm already marked as single even though I'm married, and I marked 0 dependents even though I have 6 kids, I still have a tax bill. That's because the W-4 is not perfect. And you might actually have to add extra withholding. So you could have all that in place, which means literally the largest withholding you can have in terms of W-4, but still have to add more to it. You can also add in something called quarterly estimates. That's usually a last resort for many if all of their income is W-2 income, because it kind of adds an extra layer to it. It's something else you can miss, you can mess up, but it is one that you have in your back pocket. Now, if you have 1099 income or other forms of income that taxes are not being withheld, those quarterly estimates are probably vital. The other group that comes to mind is the individual that is actually getting a large tax refund every year. I know what you're thinking. I love that refund. I head right to the mall. People still go to the mall right after I get that thing every year, and I burned through that. Well, for some of you, we have clients that do this. That, not the shopping part. They get their large savings, they get their large tax refund, but they already have something in mind for it, right? They could say that always replenishes their travel bucket, or every time we get that refund every year, we know it's going to be around X number and it helps the kids for their summer camps. I say random examples, but these are real life examples. If you're putting it to good use, I'll give you a little bit of wiggle room there. But remember, at the end of the day, you just gave too much money to Uncle Sam throughout the entire year for him to pay you 0 interest and then just give you your money back. Wouldn't you rather have that money coming to you? You crank it away into your savings account. Now, I know what you're saying, Chad. A lot of those rates have come down. Sure, but it's at least some type of interest. If you're 3-4%, again, recording this for early 2025, that's where rates are in like a lot of the online savings accounts, 3-4%. But still, that's better than Uncle Sam paying you 0. And remember, if you ever underpay Uncle Sam, he's going to gladly charge you at least 8%, if not more, put some taxes, some penalties on it. So control your situation, right? This is likely the easiest way to control too much or too little in terms of your pay stub. It's your W-4. Have a conversation with your accountant. Some financial advisors really like to nerd out on this stuff and we really like to dig into it, but a lot of financial advisors will either give you good context or they might say, hey, go back to your accountant. Regardless, have that conversation. Hopefully your accountant is. And if you're going to have this conversation with your accountant, don't do this on April 1st, right? Do this now. Now's a great time. This part of the year, right around February, it starts to pick up for them. February, you think April, but then there's something called extensions where it can actually go out to, September, October. So there is a busy time here and there's a calmer time. So if you wanted to get into tax strategy, try to get that calm time. And you might have to pay your accountant a few bucks, right? They might charge you their hourly rate. But regardless, hopefully it's a good adjustment in the long run. So number 3 on the list, adjust that W-4. Number 4, I like to call this the insurance audit. Has your income gone up? Oh, it did. Congratulations. Proud of you. Did you increase your disability insurance? You didn't, did you? That's what we mean by an insurance audit. Do you need to add more disability insurance? Do you need to add more term life insurance, right? Did your income go up? Did you have your third child? Did you have your first child? Are you now supporting your parents? Did someone co-sign on a random loan for you? These are all common examples to increase or add term life insurance. If anyone relies on your income, you need term life insurance. But then certain life events may cause you to increase that too, right? I kind of use myself as an example. Pretty much each child we had, I would always add more life insurance. I get married, added some more life insurance. Had our first son, added some more life insurance. Second son, third son, I think we're done at this point, but as our kids were born, I would add more life insurance. So keep that in mind. The one I added in here too, this is one that I usually don't get into too much, but this is something we started to focus on more in the practice as well. But property and casualty insurance, right? The last time you've reviewed your car insurance? When's the last time you reviewed your homeowner's insurance? How about personal articles, right? Those engagement rings and fancy purses, huh? Those are all things that it might be a good time to review. Your umbrella insurance. Has your net worth gone up? Should you be increasing your umbrella policy? Property and casualty insurance is one of those ones that you probably should review every few years, because if you kind of just get stuck in your ways, those rates can continue to sneak up. So do a little audit, see if you're missing anything, make sure you have proper coverages. Inflation causes things to go up, make sure that your coverage also went up with that. I had another one in mind that has slipped my mind here, but that's okay. Review property and casualty insurance, include that in your insurance audit. Number 5, last but not least, estate documents. I know what you're thinking. More than likely, we know our audience, younger demographic, right? We're invincible. Nothing's going to happen to us. Nothing will ever happen to us. We're good. But things can happen to us. And as we start to get a little bit older, and when I say a little bit older, I'm still talking middle age, but you get more and more stories of a friend or a colleague. Things happen. And that's where estate documents are so vital. And a lot of times you hear the word estate documents, you think of, I don't need a fancy trust. I don't have any money. Now, a trust could come into play. Revocable trusts are very common. It's not for the wealthy. It's for everybody. And a revocable trust is more or less a will on, I'm going to use the word steroids again, on steroids. I used that in one of my other videos that came out this month on mega backdoor Roths. But we did a whole baseball analogy. It was fun. Having your estate documents done. And for the bulk of you, this is what we're referring to. A will. Depending on your state, that might end up being a revocable trust. Now, revocable trust still means you keep control of everything. It's not giving money away. It's not adding some crazy ass protection. It's just really a will with a few extra benefits to it. You have your living will, right? What life-saving procedures do you want to have in play while you still have your mind to actually write this stuff down, right? Can't do this if you're incapacitated. Healthcare power of attorney, financial power of attorney. Those are the estate documents. I don't care your age, your net worth, everyone needs these. Yes, there's the crazy stories of super wealthy people that didn't have a will done. That's actually not what we're really worried about here. We tell a lot of our clients, the main concern for us is usually powers of attorney, right? You have an event, you're incapacitated, you're gonna make a full recovery, but who's able to make healthcare decisions for you? Who's able to pay your bills for you, financial power of attorney, while you're incapacitated? These are why these documents are so important. Yes, the wills are very important. The revocable trusts are very important. But for the bulk of us, the bigger concern is some type of disability event, some type of event that will leave you incapacitated for a period of time. But again, full recovery. So get these documents done. These are really important documents. Find a local attorney, maybe even your benefits package. You can add in those legal benefits where they might allow you to do some type of package deal for these. Discuss this with your financial advisor. Maybe they have good recommendations. Discuss it with a family member. Maybe they already got these in place and they have a good attorney that can help you with these. And most of these are package deals. So, it depends where you live, but it could be a couple $1,000 here or there to get these documents done. But once you get them done, they're likely good for a long period of time. Even with family planning, maybe changing states, you might have to update some things. But estate documents, if you want a huge win to start the year and you don't have estate documents done, that will be your huge win. I know I've made this joke before in other videos, but I always say that one of my favorite things is most of our clients have these documents completed even before their parents, sometimes their grandparents, which is terrifying to say. But last one on the list, estate documents. And there you have it. 5 things to get your financial house in order to start the year. Maybe you have all 5 covered. Fantastic. I'm proud of you. Maybe you have none. That's okay. That's why we make these videos. And some of these might take a little bit, right? I don't expect you to say, hey, I got all these done in 1 week, Chad. Estate documents are one that always seem to take a while. One, I think building up the courage, but 2, getting them completed and notarized and all that stuff. But 5 easy wins for you to get your financial house in order to start the year. If you have not subscribed, now's a great time to subscribe. Drop me some comments. What are you adding to start your year, right? What are other things that others should be thinking about? Drop those in the comments. Questions, comments, concerns, drop those in the comments. I love to read them. If you have any questions, other topics you want to see, you can also put those there. As always, Thanks for hanging out with me the last 15 minutes or so. I always tell myself on some of these that it's not going to be 15 minutes. I'm going to keep this shorter, and then I start talking and we still get to 15 minutes. But thank you for hanging out with me for those 15 minutes or so. And as always, I'll catch you on the next video.